The Super 7 7-inch round LED headlight from Morimoto is the brightest LED headlight in the world that fits Jeeps, Harleys, and sealed beam vehicles. Maybe you've already heard of Super 7, but did you know that there's a second version out? I got it here, and we're going to talk about what makes it better than the first one, and which one you should pick depending on which headlight your vehicle has. If you're into headlight customizing and projector retrofitting, you've probably already heard of the Morimoto M-LED Bi-LED Projector. This is a Bi-LED projector that goes inside your headlight. You throw it in the oven or heat it up somehow, you split the headlight apart, you take out the old stuff and you put this in its place. There's no bulb, there's no ballast. It's an LED chip inside the reflector with a projector on the front, and it does your high beam and your low beam. This is arguably the best projector for a headlight retrofit in the world. The crazy thing is, Morimoto stuffed it inside this for a sealed beam or Jeep or Harley headlight replacement. Now, in order to get the coolest and brightest headlights in the world, you don't have to open them up and customize them. You can get the Morimoto M-LED projector in the Super 7 2.0. Now, the original Super 7, the 1.0, was the best. It was brighter than everything else, it had a wider beam pattern than everything else, and now you've got the M-LED 2, which is inside the Super 7 2. Some big changes are, in the past, if you wanted this headlight, you actually got a kit and you had to assemble it yourselves. And today, the M-LED projector comes pre-installed in the Super 7, and all you got to do is pull out your old headlight and install the new one. Now, if you want to customize it, you can, because this entire headlight's completely modular. This lens can come off. This shroud is completely waterproof, so you can take that off and paint it. You can add LED halos on the inside. You can add other accents to different places. You can even paint match or to do custom painting on this headlight. And you can't really do that with any other headlight because they don't come apart. This one's specifically designed to come apart because it's made by the team at Morimoto, who specializes in the world's best headlight customizing parts. They heard everybody. Everybody said, just give us the headlight. They did it. But if you still want to take it apart, it's super easy because there's all kinds of exposed hardware all around. And it's not cheap hardware at all. Everything is rust-proof stainless steel in this beautifully powder-coated gloss black heatsink with air vents, everything that you need for a great headlight. The wiring comes out the bottom of the headlight in this really high-quality OEM-style waterproof grommet, and then goes to a connection in the middle. I'd recommend throwing some dielectric grease on there, and then it goes to the driver. On the front, it says M-LED 2. And on the top, it has these two 9005 style connectors. So this is designed to be a universal setup that you can use adapters to install it on any vehicle. On the back side of the driver, it shows you that this side is high beam, this side is low beam, and you can see everything is really nicely secured. Even this driver is fully potted, so even if it's completely exposed to the elements, you're not going to get water inside these electronics. So what do you do with these two things? Because that's not what a vehicle headlight wiring looks like if you have a 7-inch round headlight. So let's go through the options. First, we're going to start with the Jeep JK. That's a Jeep Wrangler from 2007 to 2018, and you get a 7-inch round chrome headlight that looks like this. It's a little bit bigger than the really old school sealed beam headlights, and it's got these mounting tabs around the perimeter, and it has a replaceable H13 halogen light bulb. So if you want to connect to this, we need to adapt the wiring on the Super 7 to an H13. As you can see, these don't look anything alike. Luckily, Morimoto has an adapter specifically for the Jeep JK. You may or may not know, but the Jeep JK has a pretty complicated electrical system, and we need to use an anti-flicker harness, otherwise we have a problem. You hook one of these into the low beam, one of these into the high beam. This black box is our anti-flicker module, and then we have this H13 connector that looks exactly like the Jeep Wrangler JK headlight bulb. Now it's completely plug and play. You take the trim ring off the headlight, so the headlight assembly falls out. You unplug the wiring, and you plug all this in. The headlight itself has those same mounting points around the perimeter that allow it to line up. It's exactly the right dimension to fit the Jeep JK, and it works perfectly. It's very easy to install. Now if you have the newer style Jeep Wrangler, the JL or the JT Gladiator from 2019 and up, you probably have this headlight. Believe it or not, the Super 7 works on this monstrosity even though it's way bigger than a 7-inch round headlight. That's because Morimoto has this adapter bucket that ends up with something like this. As you can see, I can take the front off of this, and the Super 7 is just sitting inside there, held in with bracketry. The cool thing is, if you have this, it comes with the wire harness specifically for the 2020 and up Jeep JL and JT, so it's completely plug and play. Pop the headlight in here, secure it with a really basic mounting flange, hook up the wiring, put the cover on so that it looks nice, and install it on the Jeep exactly how the original headlight came off. If you have an older vehicle that uses an H6024 seal beam like this, the whole thing is made of glass, and it's got this little 3-prong H4 style connector on the back. There's a good chance that you can make the Super 7 work with this. The wiring plugs in. Technically it has all the same mounting points, but it might be too big mounting depth or forward facing. As you can see, the Super 7 is monstrous compared to this old 7-inch round sealed beam headlight. Luckily, there's a lot of really good options out there, but trust me when I tell you, you can make it work if you want to. A couple things that might have to happen. First of all, you need the wire adapter. Like I said before, this does not fit any vehicle that uses a 7-inch round headlight. So we're going to need the Morimoto adapter harness for H4. Plugs in to our 2 connectors. And you get the same 3 prongs that are on the back of this sealed beam headlight. It should be a complete plug and play install as far as the wiring goes. Next, we've got the alignment tabs around the back side of the headlight. The sealed 7 mounting tabs are in the exact same position, so those should fit also. It's the same diameter, it'll fit in. Even the retaining ring that goes over the headlight to hold it in place should work. But when you get it to that point, you're going to have a lot more material sticking up and poking out of the front side of your vehicle. And on the back side, you need a lot more mounting depth. Chances are, on the back side of your vehicle's headlight, there's really nothing there. If you wanted to go through and cut it away so you've got the most badass headlights that you can fit, you can make these work. It might just require a little extra elbow grease and a cutting wheel or 2. Now if you have a motorcycle application, there's a good chance that you can fit this on a bike also. Again, you might be faced with some customizing as far as how it mounts and how it fits, but I'm telling you, it can be done. It's been done. When you get to that point, you might need this adapter if you have one of the many motorcycles that uses an H13 style connector. When we talked about the Jeep Wrangler, we had an H13 connector with a PWM module. Most motorcycles don't need that. You just need the one that's a straight up adapter wire. So we have an H13 adapter without an anti-flicker module. We have an H13 adapter with an anti-flicker module. And there's an H4 adapter without an anti-flicker module. The reality is you can make a whole bunch of applications work with this headlight, and you can look cool doing it. Trust me when I say these are the best and brightest 7-inch round LED headlights out there. If they fit every vehicle, they'd literally be king of the hill.